So earlier I was thinking about anecdotes and made a video on a related topic. I don't have a problem with anecdotes. They're a useful tool for summarizing things quickly getting a message across, um, motivating people, relating two things together that are hard to relate would take a long time, but you could just give a quick story. But there is a problem with anecdotes, and that's if you're talking to somebody that thinks with the scientific method very matter of factly, they might dismiss you because you used an antidote. So there's an in between where you communicate quickly and effectively, and you can use some of the factors of an antidote, but sticking to the data and just using the antidote to help speed up the communication a little bit and leave out some of the less important pieces of information. But you can communicate it in a way that you're happy to ask should the listener seem like they want more information to clarify. So the antidote is really to be used as a placeholder, not as a replacement for information. Because data is hard to deny. Like the scientific method, if you do research and do a double blind study, then you know the medicine works. But if you use antidotes, you might say, my stomach always feels better when I drink a soda. But could it also be that you feel better, that you calm down, took a few minutes to zone out and have some self care? There's a lot of coincidences with antidotes you got to be careful with. But so that's the reason you don't have to choose one or the other, because the soda might help your stomach and the time to take a few minutes of self care might help it as well, thus leading to the antidote, even though the soda wasn't a complete solution. So you don't have to choose one over another, but always be ready to dive deeper if the person is wanting clarification. Just try not to just repeat, if you can, try not to just repeat the antidote again if they ask for clarification. And if you need to, tell them that you have to look into that or bring in somebody else to help clarify. Because antidotes are a very powerful thing. Like when somebody is feeling sick and they've been to the hospital several times and they're not getting better, and then they go to the local yoga shop that sells crystals and metaphysics books, which I'm not putting down, I'm just saying, and they start feeling better. And so they attribute their recovery to the metaphysics and the yoga and everything they learned there. But what if after multiple visits to the hospital, they were getting the cumulative effect of modern Western medicine actually working, and the timing just played out to where it seems like the yoga worked instead. But that's not to deny that you go to the local metaphysics shop and connect with somebody that's empathetic to your condition. You feel good by being there. You're also in an environment that's very different from what you're used to. You feel much more relaxed than normal, much more ease. You feel safe. So you're in this environment that gives you this huge amount of emotional relief at the same time as the Western medicine is doing its thing that you can't even see. But would the Western medicine have done as well if you didn't have that emotional balance that leads you to a more regulated state? So, and this applies to anything. If you're a technician and you have a feeling that that's the problem with the machine, and then you just do it and it happens to work, that's not scientific reasoning. But at the same time, if you have a fair amount of experience troubleshooting and you have a feeling, that what it is your feeling is probably part of a solution, but not a full enough solution to explain. So what you can do is dive into why what you thought would work just happened to work. And that's where the antidote meets the scientific method. Because your natural state where you're quick to come up with a partial solution, sometimes that's enough to get lucky. And then you go to the scientific method to fully complete the solution and then explain it to someone else, explain it to the customer, or use it even to roll into more in-depth troubleshooting on a more complex issue later.